Hello, Homeworthy. Welcome to Bali. Come take a look around.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Be sure to visit our website, homeworthy.com, to discover amazing furniture, art, accessories, and more, all handpicked by our editors to help transform your house into a home. All of the items are inspired by the episodes you see here on Homeworthy. Enjoy!
Hi, my name is Francesca Messina, and we are in my home in Bali. We've been in Bali for 20 years, and about a year ago, we were offered this beautiful villa that was a friend of mine who actually lives in New York, and we've been coming here for many years. We've had different homes over the years that we've rented, but this home I felt was particularly unique. As the development in Bali recently is a lot of white box, this was a rare opportunity to find one of the old Bali treasures, which is the old Joglo Balinese style home. So we jumped right on it. One of the things that was really interesting about this particular property is it was one of the first developments in Immerse, which is the neighborhood that this is called. And so if you hear little motorbikes in the background, there is a main road that people use to get from one area to the other. But it's a very unique area. It was all rice fields at one point. There was legend has it that I heard on the compound is that there was two Italian architects that still live on the property today. They're in their 80s. And they came to Bali, and they were one of the first developments in this neighborhood. So this was all rice fields. Immerse has always been known as like a neighborhood. It started to develop as a very neighborhood, no commercial, no hotels. It's changed a lot, but it's still very residential, which I love. So basically their concept was to create an artist compound. So she's an architect, and the other woman was a clothing designer. So it's kind of fitting as an interior designer that I acquired this house. It's pretty amazing. Everybody's like a family. They raise their children together. They share a common pool. So it's acres of land over rice fields, and they're 80 years old and they're still on the property. So this house became available to me a year ago, and I just feel it's so special, and I feel so grateful that they offered it to me. So I jumped on the opportunity. You know, here in Bali, I mainly work. You know, I do come and have a little bit of fun, but the beautiful islands, it's such a gorgeous place to relax and spend time with my family. But mainly, I bought this house as a canvas for my work. So I design furniture here in Bali and in Java. I have an office here in Bali, and I empty the house maybe once or twice a year is kind of the goal, to do photo shoots to feature my furniture. I have a shop in New York called Dyphor, New York, and this just gives me an opportunity to hang my hat and call it my own home, opposed to jumping from one villa to the next every time I come and setting up. So it's been really nice. My daughter's living here for the last couple of months. She's just settling in. She's 20 years old and grew up in Bali, back and forth between Los Angeles and Bali. And so it's just been really nice to be able to call this place our home. So one of the things I wanted to point out about my front doors, these are traditional hand-carved teak doors made here in Bali. They come from the old Joglo houses that they have. And these knobs are so interesting and beautiful. They're getting harder and harder to find, but these are all crystal and hand-etched. You'll notice the traditional Dutch style. Indonesia was colonized by the Dutch, and so they shipped merchandise and antiques from Europe to Indonesia. So when I'm out hunting for my store, I always look for the Dutch colonial designs, and that's exactly what these are. They're so intricate and beautiful. They add a little sparkle to the wood, and I love them. All the hardware is so beautiful. Step inside and let's take a look around at some of my collectibles and the things that I love. So this is kind of like what you would call a foyer. I kind of created that by adding the drapes here so that, it would create kind of an aisle and foyer moment. I drop my keys, I drop my bags for the beach, and then you walk in, and this is just sort of like the entrance of the home. In Indonesia, these Bali homes, they have a lot of these outdoor atrium gardens. This is one of my favorite areas of the house because you have this bird's eye view of the garden from this angle, and it creates a beautiful cross breeze that I love. So pretty much like we hang out here, my kids, my husband, we hang out, we chat, we eat. It is an open floor plan, so certain parts of the day it's cooler than others, but it's super comfortable. We all hang out, the teenagers hang out, and we feel really comfortable in this space with the fans going. We've got this beautiful view of the pool. And I really needed an office moment. I do work in Bali, and a lot of times I come here by myself. So this is kind of like my office. I love to sit here and just sketch, look at different designs that I've created. All of the furniture in the home is furniture for Dyphor, New York. We have a shop in Brooklyn. So this is all of our furniture that we import. And this is such an awesome desk. Like I sit here, I burn my incense in the morning, I come in here, I burn my Palo Santo, and I kind of just like meditate and think about my day and really set my intentions for the day. And it really is very calming. You hear the birds and the landscape. Before the motorbikes get going, it's very, very peaceful at sunrise. And I just kind of like sit here and I get my work out and my laptop and start my day right here. And I love it. Such a cute little desk. It's vintage, an old teak desk from Java. And then I love mixing the vintage with the new. I love the juxtaposition of the old world meets the new. And it's been really inspiring this year, bringing in a lot of the fresh pops of boucle and white and these really super contemporary designs. I feel like it works so well. People ask me all the time what our style is at Dyphor, New York. That's our brand, or what my personal style is. And I would say that I've taken boho to an elevated place that it used to be. 20 years ago in Los Angeles, we were very boho and very current, and I feel like that term has changed. We're definitely eclectic. We definitely add bits of avant-garde, and we love contemporary art, but we're still authentically boho. We've just elevated it, and it's fun. It feels really fresh in the old world backdrop to have these contemporary designs. I love mid-century modern. This is one of the chairs. It's like a Danish design, so beautiful, made right here in Indonesia, super comfortable. This will also be featured in our store. My whole new collection will be in my store in Brooklyn in a few months, but this is a new sample that I'm obsessed with. I love it, so comfortable. But this is like that little moment, you check your phone, you're waiting on your Gojek. Gojek here is like Uber. They call it Gojek, and it picks you up on a motorbike and takes you wherever you want to go. So if you don't feel like driving, this is where I sit and wait for my Gojek or wait for my food or just check my emails. It's kind of nice, a nice breeze through here. It's really beautiful. So this is a unique house. Legend has it that the woman who was an architect who built it originally wanted a traditional Balinese house. So they have an authentic stone. It's a volcanic stone. It's kind of a brick shape. That's how you can kind of tell that this is a Bali house. But over time, they did some add-ons. So it was always an open air space, but she added glass doors. She added some of the carving. So people buy these houses in Java that mostly the farmers use, and they're called joglos, like Joglo, joglo. And now they're sought after. There's less and less. They're harder to find. But the wood itself, the beams are like 300 years old. And so you buy these breakdown houses, the joglos, and then you add it to the drywall and you stretch it out. So that's what she did. So she had originally 40 years ago built traditional Bali house with the volcanic stone, and then she added a joglo to it. And she added the wood, she put the glass, the open floor plan. So it's definitely indoor-outdoor living. The back of the house is under renovation right now. There were 2 old rooms. There's 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, and they're 40 years old. We are currently renovating. We lifted the roof. We are adding French doors. We're opening up, adding more light and cross flow, and then just remodeling the bathrooms in general. But this home, it's spread out nicely, so it feels really big, but it's really not. It's just 2-bedroom, 2-bath in the back. And then you have your front open floor plan with small kitchen. But that's the nice thing about being in Indonesia. You have your backdrop of like the old wood and the old world. And then, I mean, I've only acquired the home 7 months ago, so I just started. But it's kind of nice because you can mix the two. And then that's like the sweet spot, is to have the old world backdrop, close it in. So if you want to reprieve with some air, you can. So that's kind of the goal. So the living room is so fun. I have 2 kids and a husband. So we are a family of 4, but as you can imagine, 2 teenagers growing up in Bali have friends all over the island. So my favorite thing to do is to barbecue and cook. We all share secrets and tips on life. One of the things I wanted to create for my family is a safe place. Like, home to me, not only is it aesthetic, it has to be comfortable, although we do have that occasional white chair that no one's allowed to sit in. But in general, I like everyone to feel comfortable. They're in their bathing suits. All the teenagers flock to my house, and I love that. I'd much rather them be here with me than out there. So we created this living space to seat, you know, I've had up to like 8 to 10 teenagers around here just last week, barbecuing, they hang out, everyone's charging their phones, the music's going, and just home to me really feels like a safe place. You know, I want these teenagers to open up to me, even if I have to bite my tongue half the time of what they're saying, but giving them advice and them sharing their sort of where their head's at. I feel like home is a safe place. You know, obviously beautiful food, the aesthetics, that doesn't hurt, the beautiful pool, but just creating a really safe place for my girls and all of their friends. They call me mom, and I love it. I love it. So we hang out here. We have parties here. I put food out here. I mean, it's just all very like wash and wear. Nothing here is too precious. So I intentionally did that, all washable fabrics. All the fabrics and textiles, by the way, we make here in Bali. So this is like all of these fabrics and prints that you see in my home are fabrics that we have hand painted and hand dyed and up in Ubud, which is another area of Bali that's super magical. They're actually known for the batiking and the dyes and hand making fabrics up in Ubud. Certain regions of Bali are known for different things. Like also up in Ubud, they do a lot of the hand carving. They do the textiles. Then down here in Seminyak and this area, it's more of the wood. So you have to go around and source, but this is something that was made up in Ubud, all hand painted. I was inspired by African prints this season, so you'll be seeing a lot of African prints with my collection. In this open floor plan, it's so beautiful at night, the cool breeze, but during the day it gets really hot. So if you're not in the pool or you're not somewhere where there's aircon on, the saving grace are these fans. So they're cross flow, really beautiful, high-powered, like industrial-style fans. These save us, that's for sure, during the day. So I love to take a nap out here, read a book, and chill. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I wanted to point out our new collection. This could be indoor or outdoor. It's got this beautiful design in the back, many different fabrics that are available, but again, circling back to that African design, like contemporary Africa. That's all part of my new collection for Dyphor, New York. And I'm really proud of this chair. It's one of the first samples. There's a sofa and more to come. Had to get it in the villa to photograph it. We're going to be photographing it this week. But I wanted to share that with you. It's really beautiful. And also this gesso finish. We're doing a lot of gesso finish, super popular right now. So it's a plaster finish. We do layers and layers, 5 different layers go onto it before we seal it. Super contemporary and fun. You know, I use my home as a canvas and a backdrop for all of the artists that I buy from. This is a local artist, painter that we love. Everything's featured here are from local artisans. Every time I come to Bali, one of the things that I love to do is go sourcing. So I jump on my motorbike, I go all around, I know where all the furniture art districts are, And this trip, just last week, I met this beautiful French woman and I saw the studio. Her logo was intriguing, so I pulled in and I go into this showroom and I'm finding these huge, large-scale terracotta sculptures. I couldn't get any of the large ones here to the villa, so I opted for these small. These could be indoor or outdoor lights, but it's all terracotta, and then she hand molds them and hand does all of this work, seals it, paints it. She does coffee tables. She does large scale sculptures, like I said. I think they're so contemporary. I love the contemporary vibes with the old world. And they're earthy, contemporary, but again, they can be indoor or outdoor. And I love, it sort of creates interest and pulls you in from the entry. Getting around in Bali is tricky. It's if you drive a car, it's going to take you 5 hours to get somewhere that's 20 minutes away. So very early on, I learned how to ride a motorbike. And I remember when my kids were super little, one went to the green school, the other I would drop off at the Canggu Club, which is a little at the time was like a little daycare private resort club. And I got on the motorbike and I had one in the front, standing, holding on to the little mirrors, one in the back. It's very common in Bali that you'll see an entire family on a motorbike, 3, 4 people and the dog. But I would take on my 2 kids with their little backpacks and lunch, and I would drive through the rice fields. And those were the days of when I discovered Bali 20 years ago. And I would drop them off and I would go work all day, and around 3 o'clock I would pick them up and drive them home, and we would continue with our afternoon. And yeah, I drive a motorbike, and I'm actually, knock on wood, I've never had a major accident, and it's a must here to drive a motorbike, for sure. So this is our dining room. One of the things I struggled with when I was decorating this space is whether I go with a rectangle, an oval, and I tried them all. I had an oval marble dining table in here, I had a rectangle coming out this way, and then I went with the round, and I was like, this is it. Everything is so many straight lines in this house. It's really boxy. It needed something to soften it up. So the round is working perfectly. We all gather around here for breakfast. It's such a beautiful cross flow. This table is over 150 years old. This is really old, antique, artisanal, like typical artisanal Indonesian farm table. But the wood is just so stunning. I love the grain, I love the warmth. It's got all of these like natural little funky details and imperfections that make it so special. I love it. And then we just mixed them with these fun hand-woven chairs. We pull these outside. It's solid teak with natural banana leaf. So these chairs are great. We have these indoor and outdoor, and it's so comfortable to sit around here. This is a fun little contemporary lamp that my friend makes. It's all wrought iron and handmade linens with recycled fabrics. So they boiled the plastic down and they break it down all the way to the thread, and then they make these beautiful linen covers for lamps, and they do drapery. But I just thought this was so sweet. So I just added this recently to the farm table, and it really works. It's cozy, it's comfortable. And one of the other things that I love about Bali is they have all the ceramicists. So up in Ubud, again, they have pottery schools. I've actually visited them and made my own pottery with the students. So there's just one after the other. There's kind of an area of pottery. And this is all made in Bali. These are such beautiful handmade ceramics, and I'm obsessed with them. And not one is the same. And they're just so sweet. One of the things here in Bali, if you go to the local markets even, you can find like the wooden spoons and all of the placemats and the baskets. But the sparkle is new. This is more of a contemporary thing. And that's just that thing. You have to get out there on the road and source. And that's exactly what I do. And I found this hand-blown glass company that makes teacups, glasses, trays, and I love them. So those are really beautiful. I love setting the table. It's so pretty. The garden is gorgeous. The light filters through. You can see there's no window here. This is a traditional Bali thing. So if you're worried about security, this would not be the house for you. anybody could jump through this, but that just doesn't happen here. So this is all hand carved. It's been installed to fit into the stucco, but this is a traditional architectural piece that's been all hand carved. This is probably over 150 years old. I love the food in Bali. I love all the organic fresh vegetables and all the exotic fruits, the fresh fish. I mean, when I come here, it's yoga, walks on the beach, organic food, and then I run around, I work, but by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, the traffic is so insane. You really have to get out between like 10 and 3 and just work straight, and then you come home, massage in the garden, swim in the pool, sunset, and you go to sleep early and rise early, and that's the lifestyle here, and I love it. And I love the tropical heat. Like for me, I love the moisture. It's good for my skin. I feel good in the heat, and yeah, Bali, Indonesia in general, whether the climate and the food combined is definitely, it's a healthy lifestyle. And then of course we have our fresh coconuts and our fresh jamu every morning. So in Bali, it's traditional to have a pinbantu, is what they call it. It's kind of like a house, someone keeper that comes in, she cleans, she does the laundry, she moves things around. In the tropics, you have to move the garden around and fluff and clean every day. If you don't, the mosquitoes and things fester and it gets moldy. So every day she comes and she cleans, and I'm so lucky that she knows how to make the fresh traditional jamu. So we have it delivered. Everything comes, the fresh coconuts, the ginger root, and then she spends hours making this amazing juice blend. And this is our kitchen. Come on in. Yeah, so this is the jamu I was telling you about. So this, it has black pepper, orange rind, lemon, turmeric, and I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, and a little bit of honey, natural honey. And it's dark and milky, and it's so beautiful. So we join, you know, she comes in the morning really early. She cuts all the coconuts, and she pours out the coconuts in these big fresh jars. She slices up the lemon and the ginger root. I love cooking with her because she preps everything for me. She washes all the herbs. She gets everything ready. And then we mostly cook outside. This is an old Bali kitchen. Someday I will renovate it, but for now, I feel like it's really charming. It's kind of country, and it's just, you know, no fuss type of thing, and it was original. This has been here for 40 years. So at some point, we will renovate, but for now, I think it's charming and it works. But this jamu, if you ever visit Indonesia, specifically Bali, you have to order some jamu from a local market. They even sell it off the motorbikes, like in the back of the bike. The guy will sell you a shot for 25 cents. I drink 1 jug a day. It's so good for your bones and blood circulation, and it's just delicious. It's a little bit spicy. I love it. So this is my cute little kitchen. Again, these Indonesian doors. We love these. We shut them at night because the little kitty cats like to come in and creep around and jump on my counters. There's about 5 cats in the area, but they're so aggressive. So I shut these every night. This is kind of like your lock mechanism in Bali. I've got to show you this because it's a joke. The first time I came here, I'm like, seriously, this is our security? So you just turn this little Dutch colonial handle there. Just give it a little boop, and that's your lock. So, ta-da, easy. It's suggestive, I like to say. Everything in Bali, even the street when you're driving or the doors for security, everything's just like a suggestion. Bali, Indonesia, so there's many different islands on the archipelago of Indonesia, and Bali is one particular island that's become very popular in the last 10 years. But 20 years ago, when my friend introduced me to Bali, I was on the search for textiles. I made luxury linens and silks, and she invited me. She was actually a film producer, and she said, come check out Bali, you're gonna love it. So I had no idea where it was. I really hadn't spent any time at all in Southeast Asia. I think I had been to China once, but I really didn't know what it was about. And so I came to the island and I was just in awe over all the organic food, the spirituality. You know, Bali's known as the island of the gods, and it really does either welcome you or you have a bad experience here. That's what I have found over the last 20 years that I've been here. And it really welcomed me with open arms. I mean, the culture is amazing. The island Bali in particular is Hindu, but Indonesia is primarily Muslim. So there is a mix of Muslim and Hindu and Christian, and it's a melting pot now, it's become. But traditionally, Bali is a Hindu culture. And yeah, it's just a really special place. There's a lot of expats that have come and, you know, developed the island a little too much now at this point, but there's still places to reprieve and beautiful islands. And I just love the health factor, like the organic food, the spirituality. It's just a place where I'm able to come and work and escape. I feel very free here. I can be creative and work with all the local artisans. Even though it's overdeveloped, it's still authentic. Welcome to our outdoor area. This is like our outdoor living room, extension to the main living room outside. The best time to sit out here is in the evening, like right before sunset. We all chill out around here. You've got the pool. It's so comfortable. This sofa, I've fallen asleep on this sofa. Like I read out here, I lay out here. I just love it. You can look at the house, you can look at the pool, and it seats 4 or 5 people comfortably. This is one of my favorite areas to lounge in the house. It's great. And all this furniture we actually manufacture here in Indonesia. It's all weather. It's so beautiful. It could be indoor or outdoor, but it's made to last a lifetime of outdoor. This is a beautiful collection that I make here in Java, actually. This is a cute little area. Let me show you this area. I love sitting here having tea in the afternoon. We hang out. Nice. Again, this area has a nice cool breeze. I love sitting here. It's private. You can meditate, sit here, and you've got the breeze coming from both angles. This is such a beautiful view of the house and the garden. I love this area. So this is really cute. Let me show you the pool area. So when we dine, we hang out outside here. This kind of like rolls around to the back. These little stepping stones. Got all the beautiful flowers. So this is very traditional Bali stepping stones, not ideal with heels, but you're pretty much barefoot 24/7. So this is the loungy pool area. This is probably the best part of the whole house. This enormous pool. This pool's 40 years old. I had it emptied and cleaned. At some point I'll re-landscape this area, but like this is the wow. This is the wow factor of the house. The garden is so amazing. And this area here, you know, we dine, we hang out, we lounge, read books. And then, you know, this area here that I was talking about earlier is where the other compounds are. So this is acres of property that was once owned by an Italian architect. She broke up the land, and there's 4 houses, and each is its own individual style. Mine's traditional Balinese, another one's a little more Javanese. Like each has its own style, and they're much bigger than mine. They're 4 and 5 bedrooms, but this trail here leads you into the mysterious magical gardens of everyone's compound, and then the pool is communal. I just lucked out having the bird's eye view of the pool, but it is a communal pool. We all share, we all dine here. We had a party on Sunday night here, and we hung out with all of the people that live on the property. It's still it's kept its family vibes, that's for sure. You know, it hasn't turned over very many hands. My house, only 2 owners, me being the second. And then this house, only 2 owners from Australia. And then the other 2 are the original architects that found the land and developed it 40 years ago amongst the rice fields. So on the other side of this garden is all rice fields still today. It's developing quickly, but it still exists, and it's pretty magical. This is a magical property, and I feel so grateful to be a part of this community. That I was accepted and offered this space is really a dream come true for an artist like myself. I love it. I love it. It's so beautiful. And this, I mean, these are the trails that take you to each individual home. So the landscape, when I arrived 7 months ago, was super overgrown. I mean, it was beautiful, but it was too much. That was one of the challenges of renovating. I knew I needed to do the indoor, but I wanted to start with the outside because you spend most of your time outside. So we cleaned up some areas and we opened up so that our house would have a better bird's eye view of the pool. And then we, cleaned up and trimmed, and we're still sort of sculpting this garden. Nobody did anything to the garden or the house for 40 years. I mean, it was clear that they were fine with the way it was, and they really just did an update. We added lights. We've now carved through the garden. One of the traditional plants that I love are these frangipani trees. So we've got about 5 of them around the garden. Can be a nuisance because these little beautiful flowers that smell so amazing, and a lot of times you'll see, these in people's hair when they come to Bali. So this is a traditional plant called frangipani, also known, I think, as ylang ylang. Like, people use it to make essential oils, and they're so cute. My kids, when they're little, used to climb these trees, and I have so many photos of them and these trees. I mean, this tree is over 50 years old. I mean, it's huge. And these are the little flowers. And they fall all in the pool. Every morning we pick them up. Our outdoor furniture is amazing. We make it here in Java. It's all solid teak, and the rope is actually rope used on boats, so it's all weather. And the contemporary design mixed with the traditional rope and teak, just something fresh and new, something exciting to see. In the outdoor world, of furniture, I love the contemporary lines. What I love most, I think, about this home, well, the location is prime. That's a no-brainer for me. The location's 1 minute from my office, 3 minutes to the beach. But what I love is the wood. I love the old warm wood. I love the light that filters through here. I use this space as a canvas for my work. And so when I do photo shoots here, the light at 6 a.m. is just, it's magic. It truly is. This house, the stories that I heard from the women that have created this land, it sends chills about, raising their children and the warmth, and you can really feel it. It has a very easy access flow, the way you enter and the view to the pool, the straight shot to the pool. It's a total vacation home, and it feels that. And I would say my favorite part is all the old wood. So warm. I'm gonna take you for a sneak peek onto the compound. We're all family and friends, so it's fine, but this is our living area with the pool. But let me take you through this little mysterious little walk through here. It's so cute. And I love doing photo shoots here. Sometimes I put chairs here, and I've hung lamps here. Literally, this property is like my canvas to do my work and my creative art. I love it. But isn't this so charming? It's like you walk through here, and these are the other compounds. So that's the architect, the Italian architect's house. That was the first house built on the land before mine. And it's huge. It's like 5 bedrooms. And she collects antiques from Bali. They are so gorgeous. They're like the old artisanal, authentic pieces. So that's her property. Then you peek over here, and that's the second property. And then the third one is just back here. But it's so beautiful. Such an amazing, let me show you this view if you can. Just come over here, and you'll see that this house, this rooftop is all hand carved. So each piece of wood that you see there is a very traditional Balinese style roof, and it's called a gladik, and those are all hand carved and hand inlaid. The most beautiful roof I've ever seen. And then you come through here, and you can take a little peek and have a little view there of another artist's home. So this is the original architect's home, the Italian, the woman that I told you about earlier that found the land over 40 years ago, that still lives here. She's got such an incredible eye. Her antiques, you can't even find these anymore. She's so cool. And then back to our property, which is here. Ours is so private. We're really removed from everyone. They're actually a lot closer. And we're set back here by the pool, which is so, so nice. So we just kind of got to work on this. And we're back. The best is yet to come. So the back part of the house, which is here, is the bedrooms and bathrooms. It's under major construction. As much as I want to show you what's happening back there, I want to wait for the big reveal. Oops, sorry about that. Which will be coming very soon, and I promise to show you at some point. You go behind these doors, there's going to be 2 new beautiful bedrooms and beautiful bathrooms. So until next time, thank you so much for visiting my Bali home. It was a pleasure having you, and I hope you come back again. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.